Hi Leos, if you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, my name is Steph. I've created an ink blot made in your name and essence if you'd like to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time and terms for shapes and symbols that speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Leos will add on tarot and oracle to support, and as well we have GhostTube here kick in audio style for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. As always, please do receive or release freely. Leos, if you'd like to join me in opening up, you're more than welcome to, or you can fast forward through. Take a nice big breath. Closing the eyes. Cleansing the palette of perception. Releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and to honor of Leo.
In danger.
Leo, thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. Gratitude. Hopefully you're not in any danger. But you would know. All right, let's go. Let's see what's going on in your ink. We're only going to scry from this direction this round, and we'll scry from the other direction next time.
Scared.
Is there something that you're scared of? There's something keeping an eye out. Is there some sort of like love? I feel like I'm a little bit like I got a little sword out here. I'm actually going to grab these. And I'm like, no. You know what it feels like, Leos? Is somebody infatuated with you? I feel like infatuation is here. Because I'm hearing the song by, I can't remember who they're called. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, there's some sort of infatuation, and I keep trying to hold my own. This feels like a male energy, male expressed, female energy, feminine expressed. We have here freedom that came through, and then unseen behind it was ghosts. Interesting. It's like somebody is either trying to make me feel like you can't free yourself from the ghosts of your past. Maybe this is an internal thing. Maybe this isn't about, a typical love story that's transformed. But there does feel like an infatuation. Maybe I'm infatuated with something in my past and it's holding me back from moving forward into freedom, or I'm finally free. To be honest, that's the feeling I run into. I'm finally free. And it is not well received by someone or something else. Leos, you know the drill too. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below. Seeing a fox nose. I'm also seeing a very large, dark. Okay. See this face up here? It's like, It's like, And this one feels protective. So there might be a part of me that's nervous or scared. Maybe this is in relation to a job, corporate, creative, platonic, whatever the case may be. And I'm nervous. And I'm trying to protect this version of myself. But I'm going to leave it to you, Leos, to place it, because I feel like you know well better than I where it aligns. And if it's not your scry story, thank you for holding space for others to receive it. But I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's kind of like I feel like I'm on like these rocky seas of sorts, but I know I'm not. I feel more balanced, ironically, over here, because there's this, I'm going to say balance of like offense and defense. There's a sharing of strengths happening, but this, I'm seeing it like a parasite worm. And maybe it's like a past partner that comes in and just tries to, it's like having an ex that just, I don't want to be judgmental. I want to be very mindful, but I also want to be blatant the way it's feeling, because it's not about necessarily how I want to, appease. It feels like there's just some sort of ex or a past love or a past partner in business that just gets their can't, Oh, I'm sure if you're feeling this. Now, if it's internal, I kind of want to dig into this feeling like I'm I'm getting into a opportunity, and I'm really, really nervous, and I want to calm myself down. And I say that in all of this, it's like, because I feel, if I may, wandering into this rabbit hole, there are people gathering, and including spirits, so people of the afterlife and the animated aura. And I feel like I'm singing. I might be singing on a corner. I might be singing in a park, or playing a violin, or whatever people do. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's in your job and there's a promotion, or your relationship's going to the next level.
Picture.
Any which way, shape, or form, I feel like there's a crowd, and you're being, like when people do the bow thing, and then like roses will be thrown at you, or flowers, or maybe you're a musician, and or know what I'm saying, and they're being thrown at you in a good way, not like thrown at you, but in a good way. The EC card that came up is, as an introspection inspiration, is, what parental figure are you closer to, and why? And this is in the subcon realm.
Undecided.
Realm. Okay. I'm going to go back to the one rabbit hole. This past lover is trying to figure out why you are closer to somebody else. That's what that makes me feel like. And then there's also this other like sidebar story that just stepped forward. So I don't know if this is someone
imprisoned
in spirit or whatnot. It's like somebody whose parents are divorced, and it feels like that question. Like, do you like me more than the other parent? Or am I doing enough, trying to one up? And it's like, I feel like I'm being asked, do you like me more than mom or dad, or me more than, parent A or B? And that actually, that starts to block me off. Because I'm like, what? Is this what it's about? Is this what my existence is about? Like, I start to get really frustrated. I start to get really frustrated with that energy. Because now I feel like a prize or a pawn. Miss. Yeah. Okay, the other questions I have here in the subcon realm as well is, what is something you wish people acknowledged about you? So this is the interesting thing. When I wander the one story of how I'm feeling, and I feel like I just said it, but forgive me if I, rammer on, in that divorcee kind of feeling, and I might be a child in between. And when I say a child, you could be 45, you could be 66, and you remember those feelings. You also could be 18 and going through that. 16, whatever the case is. And what is something that you wish people acknowledged about you? The way I'm feeling in this moment is me. Is me. My strengths and my scared. Allow me to be scared. Allow me to strengthen myself without, I don't know how to express what this feeling is, but it's very irritating. It's very frustrating. And then when I wander into this other rabbit hole, this love, partner, professional, or creative, I also feel like, again, I'm part of this, like getting flowers and this community, maybe chairs and everything. What is it that's something you wished people acknowledged you about, but you step into that role?
4.
You actually, I don't want to say like you actually, but it just feels like it's like I step up and I free myself to speak, and I say something. Allah, or it's like, I want to be the artist, or I want to be the caricaturist, or I want to make metal pumpkins all year round, and I do it, and I'm celebrated. And then I think to myself, I don't wish people, what is something you wish people acknowledge you about? The acknowledgement, and you receive it. There is the receive it. And I do feel like to be, if you're a little nervous, like have stage fright or something along that lines, or just speaking in public, like it mortifies me personally, so I get it. But it's like you will be rewarded, you will be acknowledged for your efforts and your energy. And then in your pre-conscious here is, do you find it difficult to say no to future plans? I feel like Leos, there's some, and I will bring these up at the subcon cards in case you want to take a look at these as well. And the beautiful ink artistry, of course, on the back. How I'm feeling is that when I wander into that one, like with this lover partner, it's like, there's no future. So I have no problem saying no. But they're not hearing it.
Hello.
They're not acknowledging, hello, what I'm saying. That's frustrating. Also, when I'm kind of in like this, maybe you're working through childhood stuff of if maybe there was divorcee or, volatile family to parent dynamics. And it's like trying to live through your parents' eyes, and I couldn't say no to them at the time. I wasn't in the power position, if I may, or it just simply wasn't acknowledged. I was serving like what they wanted for me. Do you know what I mean, Leos? Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's keep adding on some more cards. This feels very powerful. I want to note. Yeah, it feels far out.
Hidden.
Okay. Thank you. Maya, the field of the Lord is on the bottom. There's a bear. I'm in the Jungle Book. Dun, dun, dun. Bare necessities, a simple bare necessities. I am sending out a message. I am on a very large, it's a tree specifically that I see, and I always forget what it's called, so I apologize. It's in Africa, I believe, and it's known as this kind of tree, and I can never remember what it's called, and yet I feel like it's a very important symbolic tree. And for whatever reason, I keep being drawn there, but I can't remember what it is. Nonetheless, so this bare necessities is getting ready to release a message to, perhaps if my parents have passed, or guardians, a message to my children if maybe they're frustrated with me or I'm no longer speaking, they feel far away. And what's the best way that I can get a message to them? It's through space and time, through the realms. Even with yesterday's truth, the bottleneck of time doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it happened 50 years ago. I feel as though I'm very much in this moment of now, and I want to release. I want to free myself from it.
It's what we want.
Because I don't want to carry that. I can't keep carrying somebody else's truth. That's yesterday's. And I feel very, very wise in that. How something is received, I can't control that. I'm responsible for me. And I feel like I'm very wise to that. Yeah, there's a mindfulness and a rebirth happening here. Leos, I hope this is making sense to somebody. And if you haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe. Sorry if I yammered on. It warms my haunted heart. Comment below, share, all that kind of good stuff. There's the cards for you to take that in. Leos, there's definitely some sort of, I am moving. Interesting. I am moving quickly. My messages move quickly. My words reach far spaces, even into the afterlife. Maybe you're working with Aries energy for this rebirth that I got to kind of push through to hold my position and know that I'm supported by spirit in that. And when I say spirit, it's the spirit of my own energy, spirit of the energy of the afterlife, those in spirit with me. You know what I'm saying? Drama. So you've been through some sort. Can I get that card in there? Okay, no, that's not going to work out. The storm, the judge, the seed, and the warrior. the storm of whatever that is in the sense of self yesterday, a long time ago. This feels like this, and I am in my own storm birthing light. I am birthing my own stars. My shadow is not anything I am to be afraid of. But if I do feel like in some way, shape, or form, other people have been projecting their shadows onto me and asking me to carry them or me to fulfill something on their behalf.
Surgeon.
And I'm not doing this. You can very much so, Leos, judge, discern, and decide what is good for you and what is not. And I say that because of this glow. It's like some nuggets glow and some nuggets you know to leave alone. So not everyone who wants a handout, you're not going to step forward. Not everyone who's asking for your attention. Again, there's this whole little thing going on here. I keep my composure. There's something about my composure. If I spark, if the match strikes, I'm responsible for that, because it's gonna something can escalate quickly. That happened yesterday, and I would be like, how did that happen? You know what I mean? But I feel like you're not. You're very much so in the space of this seed of what I am creating within myself, and even the messages that I send out. And I do this with an awareness. Leos, there's something that I once loved. It even could be, for some, as it just stepped forward. I was a part of this group, maybe book club or knitting, and I always pick like the most random, but hopefully you know what I mean. Like they're just basic. Maybe school, and I changed my...
It's coming.
I'm changing my majors or minors, whatever. You know what I mean? Somebody really wanted me to be this, or I thought I wanted to be this. And I had to say, no, I'm no longer going to school for journalism, or I'm no longer going to school for being a doctor or surgeon. And there's something that somebody else seems to really have an attachment of love for, that they applied to me, and I tried to very much so commit to that, thinking that's what I wanted. But I have learned through experience, this is how I'm feeling, Leos, that's not what I want. Maybe you're redirecting yourself, even in your own job, your own career, or your own hobbies, whatever the case is. And you're really clearing, you're blessing something within yourself. This feels like a blessing, but it's like somebody else is receiving it as a breakup. Somebody else is receiving it as you're breaking their heart, and it's your responsibility to fulfill it on their behalf. Now, if there was a conversation of that commitment, absolutely there needs to be compassion and, working around it. But I feel like if it was a breakup, it was very clear. Like, we tried, we did this, we're done. Like, it's okay. So a new seed is being planted, but it's like time, the rings of time. Like if I was sliced a tree and I can see all the time, it's like we tried time and time and time again. And I finally get to this seed. And somebody, or even of myself, it's like the snake of knowledge or otherwise is moving around the bones of something I'm no longer. And that's what they're holding on to. They see a golden glow of something, but that's them. This version of me is disintegrated or is disintegrating, and it's transformed through the spectrum. Does that make sense? Very speedily, and I think it's making other people uncomfortable. That's how I'm feeling anyway. Oh, sorry.
Tell me about
I feel
it.
like it's making other people uncomfortable. Tell me about it, eh? Tell me about it. All right, closing up messages for Leo. Thank you so much for being here, for scrying with me and wandering the surreal seas of stories. I appreciate you. The phallic yacht of Macroprospis. Forbidden fruit. Yeah, you are somebody's forbidden fruit. Oh, there's a card behind that. The Lotus. You are somebody's forbidden fruit,
Doorway.
Leo. And I think you know that. But you are free from something. But I want to note, it takes a little time to detox from that, right? A little hermit hill time, if I may. Because it's like the more you go within, you become more mysterious. You become way more mysterious. And there's that golden nugget glow. And as you seek out what glows to you, others are watching you and seeing you glow. Now it's stepping right back as I'm put on this stage of some sort. And I think it's symbolic, but maybe for some it's very, very real. Being put on this stage. And I feel like I'm finally taking center stage. And I don't mean finally. I feel like I've done it a few times. It's like
careful.
I can remember when I was a kid, and I would put on shows for your parents or your sisters or your best friends. You'd make these dances or whatever the case may be, or your buddies. You would go on these adventures, and I feel as though
Please come back.
that you've done this a few times in different ways. Like maybe you took that extra project at work just to kind of feel it out. If I saw this job posting and you're like, I might be interested in going over in that direction, but I'm going to learn a little bit first before I decide. But it definitely piqued your interest. But anyway, I'm taking this center stage over and over and over again because it's been like all these different center stages to find my center stage. Be like, and I see it, Leo. I'm standing here. I'm standing on this massive stage. And it's funny, as I equally see all the stands filled, they're also empty. And that is a beautiful thing because it's flip-flopping me into our current reality and the spirit reality where it seems empty, but they're filled. The stands are filled. Physically filled, spiritually filled, we'll say. And it's incredible. And as you take your seat, you are protected and you become the very lotus that you are. And this is your loti, not everyone else's. Not everyone else's, not what they wanted you to become. This is that rebirth, that strength. And you're free from frequencies that have been trying to like chain mail. Do you remember like old school chain mail? Chain letters? For some, you are forbidden fruit. And unfortunately, that just is unfortunate for them. Oh my goodness, Leo. I hope this did serve. This felt like very holographic. Like there's many layers of things happening at the same time, but you're getting obvious accolades. Absolutely obvious. Yeah, and you have the plant here. The whole cycle and seasons. You've been through other seasons. You've had, different topics, oh my goodness. Center stage. Accolades and awareness. Leos, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being my muse. And I look forward to when we're going to flip it and we'll do it again soon. Until next time, Leos, thank you so much. I'll see you again.